looks like I sleep on the sofa. Well, I do, but I don't want.
This is the best intro ever. You're live. Shh! Don't tell anyone.
Oh no! Got me tidying.
Hang on, 158.
Dave's got his England shirt on.
I have. Do you know why?
Is your English?
Because it was a hot day, and it's the only cool, breathing shirt I have.
Is it wick? Does it wick for you?
It is moisture wicking. It is.
Yes, very good.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 267 for April the 4th, 2025. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hi.
And on my right by someone wearing a moisture wicking England shirt, Dave.
Ooh.
I just got a
right?
hello instead of hello.
Hello.
How are we doing? All right?
Loving it.
Yep.
Are you?
Hot.
So you have hot weather there today, do you?
I've
Nice
got
spring
shorts
day.
on.
Oh, no way, eh?
Do
Don't
not
see my
touch
legs.
me.
Don't see my legs.
Oh, I wish I hadn't. Oh my God.
They're very white. It's the first day they've been out in like 7 months.
Adjust the contrast on
That's
my
it.
monitor.
Tune into the YouTube channel for more.
Welcome
Yes,
to the show,
ladies.
everyone. Oh, yeah. Or men, who knows?
Yeah. I'm not fussy.
No, we can't be, can we, these days?
Not at my age. And after a few beers, anything goes, honestly.
Yes, we know, Neil. We've been out with you drinking.
Don't tell
welcome
everybody.
Welcome to this show, everyone.
Shit show.
Oh, here we go. How many beers in are we?
A few.
Good. All right. Well, without further ado, then should we just hand over the reins to Neil and be done with it?
Oh,
There you
shit.
go.
I've got to talk about fucking football now, haven't I?
Yes.
I forgot. I haven't done me write up yet. I had ages to do last time's write up.
Maybe you just have to give this write up a miss because you got the next bunch. I haven't done my team for yesterday. For yesterday.
Yesterday. Don't do it for yesterday because yesterday is too late.
Is it Sunday?
So it's an early one. There's an early kickoff. I know that.
I got to do it tonight.
You have, and so have I. I'm going to take another fucking -8 points probably. So where are we? Let's press the button. Joel Reeves is currently sitting top of the league on 1,996 points. He scored 56 on the week, and Luis Esteves is in second place on 1,984 points. No one's hit the 2,000 barrier yet. I assume that will happen this weekend. You'd fucking hope so.
I think so. Yeah.
Mr. Kinzit, good week for him, 61.
Ugh, don't talk to me about Kinzit.
Well, honestly, we should all be supporting Kinzit because he's the only person we actually know who interacts with us who's actually in our league. Well,
we know Joel Reeves?
We don't know Joel, and we don't care about Lewis. He's one of the 25% Americans we've got to cut out of the league.
Joel, so who's Joel Reeves then? Joel Reeves should probably get in touch, otherwise he could be getting binned.
That's a Pilch.
Pilch
associate.
He's got a thorn in the side, that guy.
He's always sulking, isn't he? Sulking about his fucking FPL team.
Yeah, we'll
if he wants to do well in FPL, maybe he should pay some attention to what's going on.
Ooh,
and stop sulking about it.
Yeah, it sounds like a skill issue to me.
Yeah, it does, definitely. Luciano, one of the other Americans under threat of expulsion, 47 points for the week, 1,958. The good thing about him is he's not a Forest fan, so he might stay in the league.
He's fine.
Speaking of Forest fans, Christian's in 5th.
Ugh.
He has to stay because he's English.
Yeah, he's all right, I guess.
It's borderline. Nathan, another Pilch associate, is in 6th, down 48 points. My boy, only 47 points. I don't know if he took a hit, maybe. No, he played his wild card. There was a few wild cards around last week. Lewis played a wild card. My son played a wild card. Did you play a wild card?
No, I didn't play. I have my hands up because I have wanted to talk about something. Well, I just remember it. I think going into next season, we shouldn't do a automatic you resub to the league. I think we should do a new league, and then really
invites. We might only have 10 people in the league next year. You know that.
Well, I mean, I think it's just unfair, right? If we don't know people in there, because it's so easy, you can just join whatever leagues you want, right? So, I mean, we could easily have people in this league who have never listened to one episode of this podcast, right?
It's probably quite a high percentage of the people in this league.
Probably.
Anyway. Top scorer of the week. Who was that? Chris Jackson, 71. Is that the highest? I think that's pretty good. Yeah, 71, Chris Jackson.
Edmund got 69.
Yeah, don't talk about him. He's a Yank. He's not allowed to be spoken about. And he supports Forest. He's in
Neil's
double
not
jeopardy.
pulling it. Neil's not pulling any. Yeah, Neil's
Double
not pulling
jeopardy.
any punches this week.
And he went up in the league. Oh, he's basically guaranteed to get booted. Yeah, it was a weird week. Quite a few wild cards played.
I nearly played my wild card, and then I decided, you know what, I can easily get.
I'm doing shit enough without it.
I figured I'd just save it because we have double game weeks coming up. So I thought, you know what, I'll just hang on. And if experience has taught me anything, it's every time I do changes, they never amount to a hill of beans, right? So, and it turns out that if I'd made all those changes, I wouldn't have done as well. So there you go.
Who's this? Ajax. Ajax says, are we introducing some sort of tariff, 10% point reduction for the USA? At least 10%.
Very tough.
I reckon just 25% of teams are allowed to stay. Other than that, they all get fucking binned.
I think new league, put the link on the Discord. People want to join.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we'll do next year. That's next year, though. I'll just boot them all out this year.
Yeah, I don't think you do a wholesale send the code out, right? I think that's.
I don't put it on. I don't put it on. I don't put it on Twitter for any old randoms to fucking join. Don't want any psychos joining. Twitter is dead. That's only just full of absolute
that we know.
Yeah, only ones we like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be on the Discord. It might be on Blue Sky because that's not full of absolute units at the moment.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They're hiding well.
Yeah. Bit of like
you're right. You stuck for words because I'll talk.
It was a bit of a much of a muchness. Like there's a lot of very similar scores last week. It wasn't like no one really ran away with it. I don't think, and no one did really shit. Chipper Spice. What did she get? 60 odd points.
Yeah, she did okay.
61. She beat someone in the head-to-head. Yeah. A few people brought Saka in on their wild card. I took a -8 to bring Saka in.
Chipper's been holding Saka since.
Yeah, exactly. It turns out it was a good hold.
Yeah.
He paid off my -8 last week.
I'll tell you this. Saka scored that goal. And honestly, I genuinely had a smile on my face. He's a lovely lad. He is, isn't he? He looks so happy. He's just a good lad. He's just a filthy, dirty gooner.
Yeah. It's a shame he's a base for Arsenal, honestly.
Yeah. But no, I felt very... yeah, that was nice. That was nice to see. It was good.
He's a lovely lad.
He is, yeah.
I'm moving on to head-to-heads. Because there's been a little bit of head-to-head chat going on. So we need to clarify.
I just like to point out that I got 57, which wasn't terrible.
Well, you did lose on the week.
On the head-to-head, I did, yeah. I know. Good to who? You know who?
Lucky for you, the average also lost. Otherwise, you'd be back on the bottom.
It's just outrageous.
Luciano did lose. So the lead at the top, Mr. Kinsit, is away by 6 points.
Go on, Kinsit.
Come on, you got to do it for us.
I was happy to donate that win to you.
My wife is only 1 point behind second. She's on 60 points. And then there's a three-way tie on 55. And for those of you who are interested in how they decide the order of people who are on the same points.
Why would you bring this up, Neil?
I honestly couldn't think. Whoever has got the most points overall is top of the people who are tied on points in the head-to-head. That's because that's the way they've decided to organise the league. It's like you could have had a points difference. I think would be better if I'd have done it myself on a spreadsheet. There'd have been every week you'd have had a plus and minus on points, and that's how I'd have worked it out. But obviously, the multiple billion-pound industry of fantasy Premier League and the Premier League couldn't fucking deal with that shit, so they've just gone for the easy option. Whoever's got the most points in the overall league is top, and whoever's got the least amount of points is lowest.
I think that's fair enough, though. I mean, if you look at their list, they have, how many... Oh, no, hang on a second. I'm looking at...
There's only 12 million teams in this league. They could have fucking put an extra couple of columns in there to work out, on their head-to-head sections, a plus and minus for every week. So if you lost by 12 points one week, you're on a minus 12. And the next week, you might win by 20. So you're on plus 8. Quick maths. I didn't prepare that. I literally just did that in my fucking head. So I reckon a fucking computer could do it a lot quicker than me.
Yeah, but that sounds complicated.
It's not that complicated.
Yeah, but convoluted.
I literally just did it in my head.
Well, I don't understand what. Sorry, where does the +8 and the -8s and all that come from?
I said if you lost 1 week by 12 points, I'm changing the number 20 points. If you lost a fixture, again in the head-to-head league by 20 points 1 week,
right?
Say it's week 1,
yeah,
and then week 2 you won by 8 points,
right?
Then the overall plus and minus points for the competition so far would be -12. But you'd have won 1 and lost 1. But you'd be on -12 points difference against
I don't think that's as straightforward as you think it is.
I think it's quite straightforward. That's how most football leagues work. You have goal difference. It's the equivalent of goal difference.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. But you also have a metric, which is how many points do you have total anyway?
Well, they've still got that record, funnily enough. Because that's how the whole fucking league works.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sure. I can't be bothered to argue.
Anyway, head-to-head league, they should have added a points difference column before the overall points comes into effect. But there you go. Multi-billion-dollar industries can't really fucking
So rather than use the column that they use and it works, they should have added in another column and ignored the column that has information that they could use.
No, they didn't ignore it.
And now
That's just the secondary data column.
Right.
The primary data column.
The primary data column.
Stop arguing with me. You know I'm correct. I'm correct. There should be points difference, like you have goal difference. That's how they sort shit out in the real world. We don't have goal difference in FPL.
If I still drank, I could have the energy for these arguments.
Anyway, you know I'm right, so shut up.
All right, Neil's right, everyone.
So I'm with Pilch in a way, I guess.
Oh my god!
Because he was complaining. He was complaining that he won his fixture but went down in the league. Basically, is how this whole thing started. I was like, the reason is you were level on points with somebody who also won, but they've now got more points overall, and so he was being a little bit. What's the word? I don't know.
Just say whatever comes to your heart, Neil. Come on,
I'm not gonna be rude. Arsey? So. Maybe a little bit arsey.
Use the words you used before we started going live.
What did he say? No, that was about the Yanks. I'm not saying about that about Pilch. He's a Brit. He's an Englishman. That's a good, solid bloke. Not like them fucking. Anyway.
He was being passionate. There you go.
There's a lot of passion tonight.
What did he say? I honestly, I'm so thick and drunk, I can't really think of the correct word, so I'm not going to say it. But basically, he was complaining that. What did he say? He said something about whoever wins the. If there's
Wait a second.
Draw...
No, well, you just told us this. Don't tell us it all again.
No,
okay,
no, I'm not saying that. Basically, I didn't say this bit. He basically said when it comes to deciding who's ahead in the head-to-head league, if, for example, at the end of the FA Cup final there was a draw, why don't they just use the Premier League positions to decide who's won the fucking FA Cup final? I was like, no, you're just being a little bit silly now, aren't you? But I guess, like I said, honestly, I believe they could easily, for a multi-billion-dollar organisation, sort it out that they have a points difference in each league versus every fixture that you've played so far to work out.
Right,
who's
now
really
you are repeating yourself. Right, move on.
Okay, I'll shut up now then.
No, just move on.
No, I'm not saying anything now. I'm done. See ya. Carry on with the show. The rest of you can do the rest yourself.
All right, then let's move on to some listener stuff. Do we have any listener stuff? There must be some more. Is there no more football? Are you sure? Now that you've got the hump. Oh, he has got the hump.
Tomorrow morning is the deadline.
Yes, it is. All right, we know that. Got to get some stuff in tonight. Got to get the teams changed tonight. All right, we have quite a bit of listener stuff here, so I'm not going to do. First of all, we have Paul here just wondering. He says, surely digital purchases of full-price console games should be cheaper, regardless of download costs. Most games have a big day one patch. A physical product has the disc, cartridge, manufacturer cost, multiple shipping costs, wholesale distributor taking their cut, then the retailer taking their cut. With at least 4 less profit makers in the middle, perhaps digital games could be on average 40% cheaper. Yet usually the physical version is often the cheapest option, even on day one. Is that right? Really?
So,
oh, Dave's got
what they said at the start when they started doing this was, we don't want to undercut the retail because they've got fixed costs and we don't want to steal sales from them.
Well remembered, Dave.
That's what happened when 360, PlayStation 2,
when digital was taking off, right?
When digital was taking off, they said we don't want to undercut them. They're brick and mortar. They've got overheads. Blah blah blah. So everyone, yeah, that sounds fair enough. We still want to download stuff though, and digital sales. I can't imagine that retail sales are a tenth of what they were. And yeah, and then because people were prepared to pay that money, they continue to charge it.
Of course. Prices never come down.
No, people still want to play games. Can't bother to go to the shop or order online because it's a gamble whether you're going to get it. Well, there's a gamble if you get it early. With some games. But yeah. Even though people can't sell their games back to the stores for credit like they used to, but just people and parents are everyday
wasn't
game players.
Wasn't that was something else, wasn't it? The fact that there was no no, if I got that right, there was no resale, so no, that wouldn't make much sense.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know what I'm talking about either.
The Xbox One launch was vilified largely because they were trying to bring some resale value to your digital purchases, and then which became from all the publishers were all on board with all of this bullshit and that's what everyone, and then Sony just came along and took the piss because there was a massive negative reaction to the Xbox One launch and said, yeah, if you want to share a game with your friends, you can just give them the disc. And remember that little video that they did? Literally was like, clearly wasn't very highly polished because they literally did it about 10 minutes before their fucking presentation because they were fully on board with the same shit until they saw the huge negative reaction that Xbox got because they went first. And that's how PlayStation 4 won the console war.
Was it well, yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. Well, that we could go down a whole other rabbit hole there of that. I mean, wasn't it digital resale?
They were
reselling
like
of
Xbox.
Games,
they made it. It was like I remember very, very clearly, like Major Nelson and all that. Like they were trying to really explain it in very basic terms for all the thickos out there. That if you bought a digital game, they would allow you to resell it on to somebody else. Obviously, for basically fuck all, but it was the same as trading it into CEX. Kind of thing.
Right.
You would get fuck all back for it, and then they'd sell it at a massive profit.
Yeah.
But they were willing to do digital game trading, but that was misconstrued by the market, took the piss out of by endless like YouTubers and twats, and so that obviously went to shit. But what you've been left with is the only real digital marketplace there is PC. Who the fuck buys a physical PC game? Nobody, basically. That isn't even an
Uh,
option, largely.
Apart from the special editions that come with
Yeah,
watches and
collector's editions and things like that.
yeah,
And they're like insane money. That's for fucking
yeah,
weirdos.
and actually 9
They
times
probably
out of
have
10
it
they
down.
don't
Yeah.
actually have a CD or
Yeah, they don't
a
even have the fucking game.
no, they have a
You have to
Steam
you get a
link.
Steam key or whatever, or an EA key or whatever.
Yeah.
So the only sort of proof of a digital marketplace is PC, because the physical market there is non-existent. So the problem with all the consoles and the console makers, they have to kowtow to the fucking physical retailers still, because they rely on them to sell their machines. So there is still a physical games market, particularly for Nintendo. I think probably of all of the consoles, they are the biggest physical games market still going.
Probably. Yeah.
I can't believe anyone on like with Game Pass on Xbox, their physical market is basically zero, surely.
Yeah.
PlayStation maybe a bit, but they've got a huge digital storefront. But Nintendo is definitely the one that remains, that has people like yourself. They go to the library, they get the little cards, they fucking take it in, they play their games, don't pay a fucking penny for it, and then they give it back.
That's right.
And they wonder why games cost fucking $80.
Oh, don't try and blame me and my library. I haven't been to the library for years. I'm not going to take this sitting down. Anyway, I'm sure Nintendo will be back on the conversation in a bit. Mint Safe says just won £15 on a scratch card. What's the most money you have won or the best prize? Cheers, fellas. It's Friday.
It is Friday, and very much cheers.
Cheers, Mint Safe.
I've won more than £15 on a scratch card.
Safe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. At least one, anyway. Unless it goes to spoons, then you could get 3 or 4.
I don't think I've ever won a lot of money. I won $150.
I think I won 30
year.
quid on a scratch card, which is not a lot. It's basically more
Mine was
scratch cards.
You know what? I won $150 from entering a trade magazine competition. I was like, I can answer those questions. I thought I'd just send it in, see what happens, and they sent me $150. I was like, that's all right.
Wow.
I guess And then I also entered a trade magazine competition, a bike magazine, and won a Ducati Dionysi jacket. So that was worth a good.
That sounds decent.
I think that was worth a good few hundred quid.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so you got to be in it to win it, right?
Well, I won my racing seat. My next level racing.
Oh, that's
seat
right. Yeah,
on a Twitter competition.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I remember that was talked about on the show because I was like, I was like, when I got alerts on Twitter, I was like, this is a bit. I don't ever get alerts on Twitter, and like, it's like, oh, well done, so and so, you've won the fucking thing. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. My wife won an iPad. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, but not much bigger than that that I can think of.
I want
Dave, you a
I
winner?
definitely talk about a sponge that I won at Halfords many years
Oh my God.
I remember that. I do remember you talking about that.
I don't remember that.
I do.
You won a sponge.
That was a scratch card.
Funnily enough, I won £15 Amazon voucher at work the other day.
Nice.
I won tickets. I won a ticket to see Foo Fighters at London.
A ticket.
A ticket with somebody else who worked in the office, but that was the concert just after he'd actually broken his leg, so we didn't do it. So we didn't get.
Did you get a refund?
No, because there was no monetary value in the.
No, but did they not get a refund on their tickets?
It was a.
Someone else went to that concert that they refunded you for.
Yeah, maybe a supplier ticket was given. 2 tickets was given to our company, and I won that.
Complimentary prawn sandwiches, was it?
But yeah, no, nothing else really. No.
It's a bit of a shame when you think about it that I've won a fucking racing seat and a sponge from Halfords, and that's it. That's all I'm going to win in my entire life. No matter how many times I win the lottery, I win like £2.50, maybe £6 on the scratch cards.
I used to do the fruit machines, but like, yeah, I'd say I would won money off it, but I'd spent more money.
You definitely haven't won overall.
No.
I'm getting. You know what? We've been doing this for too long. I'm getting flashbacks now to somebody doing scratch cards on their phone. Who was that?
That was me while we were playing Hunt. And you shouted at me because I died or something. It's like, sorry, I was playing
I
a
never
scratch card.
shout at you.
It's like nothing's been happening
That's
for the
right.
last 5 minutes. I'm playing a scratch card on my fucking phone. There we go.
Yeah,
Was
no,
I
I can't. I
It was
just
with Gary. Gary was there that night.
did we res you or something?
I don't even remember that. I don't remember that much detail.
from the story I remember, you rezzed him, but like he didn't realize it
He
was
didn't
rezzed.
do anything. He
No.
was bloody fucking around with scratch cards.
Yeah. No, I've got my personality is not geared up for that, and I know that. I
I won like 300 quid on a bet once. That was pretty good from a £2
Dave, you used to
£2.50
be,
bet.
you used to be a bit of a fruity head, didn't you, Dave?
I did. Yeah. All that when I had lots more money to just piss up the wall and spank away on shiny
Gambling.
lights. Yeah.
Thanks, Mint Safe. Appreciate that. Master Blackthorn says, I'm quite salty about the From Software exclusive Dusk Bloods because that will probably never see a release on a non-Nintendo machine. This is massively disappointing and means I now have to buy a Switch 2 just to play one game. Sorry, but I think Nintendo games are shite, but at least they have one good game. Winking emoji. All right. It's good that he put that on at the
I
end.
assume he's talking about Mario Kart World.
I'm not sure. Dusk Bloods, I had never heard of that before earlier. I looked it up. Yes, okay. From Software, new game. Nintendo
People
exclusive.
are excited, but you know why they're excited about that game? Can I give you a hint? It's got blood in the title.
Why?
It's a bit Bloodborne-y, so people are excited.
Oh, right. Do you think it's going to stay as a Switch exclusive?
It's a multiplayer game, so probably not, because otherwise anyone won't buy it. If they put that on every other platform, it would sell gangbusters probably.
They're going to have to wait though, right?
They're probably a year. I'm not being funny. It's not going to take much effort to put it on other platforms. In terms of improving the visuals, is it? Switch 2, despite the improvements over Switch 1, it's probably still like lower than PS5, Xbox Series, blah blah blah. So.
I can't stop staring at his sentence there. Sorry, but I think Nintendo games are shite. I mean, that's quite the statement.
Was that? I think that was the winky face.
I know it is the winky emoji after it, but still, a bit harsh.
Well, I don't think they're shite, but I don't play my Switch very often. That's all I'm saying.
He's emotional. We'll let it go.
Yeah, he's a From Software fan, so you know.
Yeah. All right.
He loves all his Souls games.
You're our From Software nerd. What did you watch this? Or
I didn't watch the whole thing. I haven't watched the whole thing. I saw the buzz, and I was like, everyone's going, "Oh, it's Bloodborne 2," but it's not because it's a multiplayer game. I didn't really look into it too much, but yeah, I reckon there's a 50-50 shout of it coming to other things. I reckon.
You think it would be standout on the Switch? I mean, the Switch doesn't strike me as somewhere where you've got a massive From Software following. Right?
A, there is that, and B, also multiplayer online. Switch 2.
Oh my God.
You have to pay like 80 quid a year or whatever to fucking do you. They're bringing GameCube though. GameCube old classics to the Switch online.
Brilliant.
Thing. You could play old Zelda games.
I mean, old Zelda games are okay, but those
you
are
can play
old now.
Relatively recent old Zelda games for much better frame rates than you could before as well.
How do we do that, Neil?
You'd have to pay a small upgrade fee if you already own the game for your Switch 2, which you can only buy if you've played shitloads of Switch 1, obviously. And if you're in the US, fuck you, you ain't getting a Switch 2 because they've cancelled all the pre-orders at the moment on that. Because fucking tariffs. I'm sure that's going really well.
We'll see.
Maybe they'll buy an Xbox instead, because I'm sure they're made in America.
Yeah, I don't know how does that work. I mean,
did you know that Nintendo had moved production of the Switch from China to Vietnam to avoid tariffs, and then they taxed Vietnam anyway? So they're like, oh, fucking great.
All right, moving swiftly along before this derails massively. Just Paul's back again. He says, Switch 2. Definitely not feeling any kind of fear of missing out. Dustbloods looked interesting at first, but after watching the trailer, it kind of looked like a janky PS2 version of Bloodborne.
Oof.
But that's fighting talk. Yeah, all right, let's go.
That's a kick in the plums, isn't it?
It's
Dunno.
Well, it's
it says, but
it's to them.
he says, but I did read today that Nintendo are having a rethink on pricing for the American market due to the new scalper taxes imposed by the big Trump on all Americans via crazy import duties. Yeah, as discussed already.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting because there's people were talking about the Switch 2 pricing, and I said I'm not sure what's going to happen. And then about 5 minutes later, I saw the IGN or whoever it was started saying that they were rethinking or cancelling. What exactly, Neil? Did you read it? Did they
But
say
all
they
I saw was they'd halted pre-orders in the US because of tariffs, and they have not altered the launch date of June the 6th or whatever it is. But pre-orders are not going live on April the 9th in the US as it stands.
Yeah. I guess they just can't, right? I mean, this
But
is the
you know
problem.
what?
I mean,
If they just didn't bother selling it in the US, they'd probably sell all of the Switches they had anyway, everywhere else. They just don't even need to sell to the US because they could sell them all everywhere else.
Well, I mean, the US, yeah.
Fuck
I mean,
America.
I think that's easy there, sunshine. I think that's a bit of a blank.
No.
So right. I've had a thought. Right, why don't these places like in Vietnam where Switch 2 is made, it's not made, it's assembled. Why don't they just ship all the assembly parts to America?
No,
where it's
let's
then
give it into him. That's what he
made,
wants.
But it's not. But it's still produced and constructed like.
Yeah, but
everywhere
I think the problem is it's a blanket tariff anyway, right? So it doesn't matter even if it comes in as an unfinished good as a component, you still have to pay.
You literally
tariff.
just put a fucking Joy-Con on the side in the US. I don't think they.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
the value of the components of the Switch 2 is not going to be more than.
Well, I think we can all agree.
30%,
Fuck America.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it's all very crazy times. I mean, I understand it. Like, I basically sell American products, right? So I sell manufactured American equipment up here in Canada, and like daily, I have no fucking idea what's going on, right? I've been even just this afternoon, I've been, given, what do they call them, harmonized numbers or whatever for the goods and services, whatever, and something's coming under a different classification now. And I mean, it's
So
the
are
amount.
you gonna have to? Are you selling, like, telling everybody that you deal with who've got open active orders? By the way, the price might change.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So, so I mean, it just goes like this. That $100,000 order you're about to place with us, it may cost you $125,000 when it lands. Imagine how that goes, right?
Yes.
It's not great.
But good luck finding it any better anybody from anywhere else.
But, well, I mean, I'm yeah. Anyway, but my point is that I understand the Nintendo take, because nobody really knows what's going on, right? So
because it could fucking all change in a fucking tomorrow.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
probably made his fucking billions from the stock market crash, and then he just goes, "Oh, fuck it, I'll cancel all the tariffs."
Okay. So yeah, the issue, of course, is with pre-orders. I mean, there's a real danger that once you've accepted somebody's pre-order, unless they do it as a caveat, right? And they say, look, we'll take your pre-order money, but you have to understand that the final cost could be different. Now, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that's what ends up happening. But the problem is, and I'm already dealing with, let's call them professionals, right, on this tariff business. And even that is fucking hard work, right? Even the so-called, in inverted commas, professionals don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. Imagine extract, what are they? widening that out to the general unwashed public, Switch buyers, right? And then, saying to them, here you go, here's your pre-order. You can have your pre-order and here's your cost. Exclamation, asterisk, that might not be your final cost. And then what happens when you come to try and claim that money off people? I mean, it'd just be an absolute shit show.
Well, you don't,
right?
You pay a down payment, don't you? You pay here's your $50 deposit. It's going to, at the moment, we expect the cost to be this. It may change, and you may pay more, you may pay less.
Right.
Probably pay more. But
probably pay more.
At the end of the day, you have a right to cancel up until X and such a time. Otherwise, it's going to cost you whatever it costs.
Right. But here's the thing, right? As straightforward as it sounds, the problem is, if you put that out there to the great unwashed, and yeah, I'm going to call everyone who buys a Switch the great unwashed, right? The general public. Let's not beat around the bush. The general public, right? 50% of the general public.
They don't look at asterisks.
Are fucking idiots, right?
They don't look at asterisks on the fucking terms and conditions.
No, they don't look at asterisks. So if you commit yourself to a program of pre-orders with asterisks saying your final product price might not be the same, you basically open yourself up to massive amounts of headaches and work later on. And those headaches and work cost you money, right? That's how the corporations have to look at it. So it doesn't surprise me that it's easier for them to just go, you know what, no pre-orders, right? Until we can figure out what's going on.
I mean, Nintendo is a big
because
deal,
not only
probably.
not only that, but if you commit, say you sign up 2 million people for pre-orders for Switches, right? And 1 million of those people, when they get a bigger bill, fuck it off, right? What do you do with the 1 million Switches that you've just brought in for them? Like you've bought Switches,
them to people in Canada.
And here's the other thing: not only have you bought those Switches for people, you've paid the fucking tariffs at the border on them already. So,
as in the retailers have.
So what people have to understand, and so for people who aren't directly involved in business,
hang on, sorry, I don't know
and
how
everybody is.
The Switch thing is ordering. Like in terms of ordering a Switch 2, I don't know if you can order an actual console other than through Nintendo at the moment. I've had an email from Shop2 where I buy a load of stuff. They're not advertising the Switch 2. They're advertising all the accessories. But I can't buy a Switch 2 from them.
Yeah.
So I think you can only buy a Switch 2 through Nintendo as far as I know at the moment.
Well, I mean, the retailers are probably scrambling to protect themselves. Even if Nintendo gives them a number and say, it's going to be this much coming in, Nintendo will have an asterisk to the retailers going, this is how much it is for you guys to buy these. Might be more, though, when you come to buy them.
Well,
now, as a retailer working on fucking tight margins,
totally.
Like that's the thing, right? It's very easy, and here we go off on a tariff rant, but you have to remember the fucking amount of work and effort and fucking wasted time in dealing with this shit is so costly. It's just staggering. It's just fucking staggering. And that's what we're going to see, right? I don't know. It's just, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
I'm reading between the lines here, and I think you're saying, fuck America.
No, well, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, it's just, it's not as straightforward and as nuanced as people seem to think it might be, right? It really isn't. It's a real.
Well, I've had 5 beers, and it just sounds like fuck America.
Wow. All right. Well, look. Let's move on then before you lose us every fucking American listener we have.
So anyway, we've only got 3 of them anyway.
Right. Okay. Well, that was Paul done. Yeah. I like, just sorry. In summing up, I fucking have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what's coming. Right. On the pricing and stuff.
The pricing and stuff. Well, the Switch 2 is going to cost something like, I think I saw £390 for the basic Switch 2, or 400 and something with Mario Kart World over here. So I was like, that doesn't sound too bad versus what everyone else is getting. As we won't be getting one. I don't think I'll be ordering because I haven't played enough Switch to pre-order a Switch 2.
Well, I actually have a $150 Visa gift card here that I won last year, and I still haven't spent, so I might put that towards a Switch 2.
You didn't.
Well, you have to have played so many hours of Switch to get to the queue, front of the queue. All I definitely saw a thing that was like Switch 2 pre-orders are basically prioritised in order of how much Switch you've played.
What? Really? What?
Yeah,
Really?
because there's
No,
obviously going to be that much demand for
Or
the Switch
not.
2. Honestly, the Switch 2 does look pretty fucking sweet. In terms
I
of an
just want
upgrade
it,
over the Switch.
Yeah, I just want it so that I can play the Switch games I have. I just want them to play better.
Well, you might have to pay extra for a couple of those to play that.
Well, we'll see.
Nintendo tax, they call that. It's like a tariff on Nintendo games.
Okay.
But yeah, the actual device, the dock, is improved. It has a fan in the dock, which means the Switch itself will be able to run better when it's docked. From what I've seen, so you will be getting 4K HDR up to 120 frames per second.
Will we fuck?
Will on some
On
games.
what?
To start with.
Pac-Man.
To start with. I think your Tears of the Kingdom might run at 4K 60
There's no fucking way.
when it's docked, but it's a 1080p screen, and I think it's up to 120 hertz on the screen on the dock, undocked.
It'll be up-res though, right? I mean,
But no, it's got DLSS in it inbuilt, so it's got some pretty fancy tech in it. It does, and it has mouse Joy-Cons now. So you can use your Joy-Con as a mouse, so you can play Civilization and shit like that. Or
is that what they're
Football
doing with it?
You can, and apparently it works on your leg, so you can just like rub it on your leg as a mouse.
Brilliant.
So they thought of everything.
I guess. Even
I
I wasn't thinking about that. All right, can we move on from the Switch?
don't know. It looks good, but I
Okay.
probably won't get one until it's like 2 years old.
All right. I still love you, America. Let's move on then to what we've been doing. Neil, why don't you start?
I went for a curry earlier and had a couple of beers. Don't know if you can tell.
I hadn't noticed.
What curry did you have, Neil?
I today had a lovely chicken tikka boona. It was delicious. So
And any keema naan with that, or?
my son had the keema naan, and I had lamb chops for starter, Kashmiri lamb chops,
Well, that's
yeah.
good.
which was the
as,
favourite of the Tayyab's crew. They didn't come out sizzling, which is a little bit uneventful, but they were very tasty.
That's good.
Were they
so-
finger licking good for them?
I didn't use my fingers; I used knife and fork because we were being posh. We're in the Buzzard now, not in London. We're in the posh place. There's only one napkin, so
For the table.
for me, there was three each, one each, three each, one each. Anyway, lovely curry again. That's 2 weeks in a row of being for a curry on a Friday.
Nice.
Basically, it'd be to celebrate. My son broke up from school for 2.5 weeks, but he improved his PE grade by like 100% better than last time. So that's why we went out for a dinner.
Well, he's actually been to school.
Yeah, well, there was that. No, he had he's doing mock exams loads lately.
Right.
So his PE mock, he went from like 20 to a 40, I think it was. Out of a 41 out of 60, which was like whatever grade. So anyway, we went out for a curry. It was lovely.
Any excuse wasn't
Any excuse to go out for a fucking beer.
yeah.
But obviously, my Sky TV contract finishes this weekend.
Oof.
Obviously.
And so ahead of this weekend, I was like, probably should check out the Now TV alternative, which is what I've been touting as my alternative. So I bought. Well, I've signed up for 6 months. So basically, I've fucked off Sky because I've signed up for 6 months of sports on Now TV. A reduced price of £26 a month. I have a free week of Ultra HD Boost, which it's £9 normally, but they reckon if you cancel it and say it's too expensive, you can get it for £6.
Right.
But there's obviously a little bit of a lag versus the satellite. But I think it might actually look better than it did on my satellite TV.
Good.
Which is contrary to a lot of Reddit threads I've read. I'm panicking, going here. Oh, I don't like that. Look at this. People are complaining about the Apple TV app being shit because it's now the same as the Peacock app, which is I think is the US or North American.
I think you
thing.
give way too much of a shit about this stuff.
Well,
Just fucking get the cheapest service, fucking load it up on your TV, watch football, and just get on with it. Right?
well, this is what we're doing. So we've got in with Now TV, Sky Sports, £26 a month for 6 months. I'm going to ultra boost it. Don't tell anyone.
Of course you are.
Don't tell them. I'm going to ultra boost it definitely because hopefully I'll get it a bit cheaper.
I like
if
the
I
way
say-
you basically impose your own tariffs on yourself.
What? How?
Well, you've 25 quid service, and then you just go ahead and impose yourself a fucking 15-20% tariff tax on it by
because
upgrading it.
You can't have the shitty basic like 720p stream with ads.
It's not
extra
going to be
ads.
720.
That is what it is if you don't pay extra.
720. What year is it?
Tell me about it. If you pay £6, you get HD. If you pay £9, you get Ultra HD. And
What's the
I've
difference
got
between HD and Ultra HD?
it's like 4 times as good.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's literally from HD to 4K. So and HDR and Dolby
How does
Atmos
that make
and
it
all that.
4 times as good?
Because there's that many more pixels.
Does it make the experience 4 times better?
Yes. Because it actually looks like 4K on my screen, which is in front of me or behind me right now, versus when because on Sky, we had Ultra HD on one TV, and I was paying £60 odd a month for everything. And they wanted me to pay £80 odd a month for everything, but I'd still only get Ultra HD on one fucking TV. So now I've moved to now, and I can get Ultra HD on all of the devices that I pay for, which is loads of different devices, but I can only watch 3 at once. But I can have loads
so it's just
of
like a
devices
typical
signed in.
streaming subscription, right?
But
Well,
I'm only
welcome
paying
to the
for
welcome
sports.
to the modern world, right?
So I'm only paying for sports instead of paying for. You have to pay for fucking like the basic Sky package was like 25 quid a month or £21 a month, which included a bit of Netflix. But they were going to change that because Netflix are nice, and they've started to charge everyone else more. So you can't get a good deal on Netflix on your third-party provider anymore. So we're going to be like Sky Sports through Now TV, and then it's going to be hop in and hop out on all the other services from a month-to-month basis. So maybe we'll have Apple TV for a month, then maybe we'll have Netflix for a month, then maybe we've always got Amazon Prime, obviously, because we just pay Amazon Prime for the year because we get shit from Amazon, and we just get the TV's just a bonus.
It really isn't.
It's for us because we don't really watch that much Amazon Prime TV.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it's not really a bonus.
Well, there is because I was watching Borderlands on there. So it's basically
what I said.
It was costing me in my life terms versus actual pounds terms.
I think the fact that you actually subjected yourself to watching Borderlands.
I haven't finished it.
Prime owes you for that.
I actually didn't see any adverts during Borderlands. Maybe that says something about Borderlands that they didn't even bother putting adverts, because you have to pay extra to not have adverts now.
Yeah, I know. We were watching stuff on Prime and loads of adverts. It's driving me crazy.
I didn't see that.
How's your Apple TV?
I was using Apple TV to watch my Now TV, and it looked fucking mint.
It's good, isn't it?
It looks like it's crisp and it works quick, which is good.
Yeah, exactly.
You still get
lag.
You still get a delay on streams because streams. But
what do you mean though? When you say a delay, what do you
versus
mean?
like if I was watching it on my
just
Sky
in
satellite,
terms of announcing goals, right?
No, yeah. I get alert if I get alerts on my phone before things happening on the stream.
Yeah, okay,
so I just turned all my alerts off, and it makes things much more enjoyable.
Yeah, there you go. You've solved that problem. Well done.
Exactly. I have. My son won't solve that problem because he's too obsessed because his phone pings off. The chat is popping off on my son's phone every time there's a goal on any televised football game.
Dave, you got an Apple TV yet?
Nope.
Also, I watched stuff on my PlayStation 5.
What?
Via streaming. I was watching the Discovery Plus stream, which is notoriously shite on every other platform I've ever watched it on. actually worked quite nicely on the PS5. So the current deal is downstairs we're going to have the PS5 for streaming and gaming, obviously, and then upstairs it's going to be Apple TV for Now Sports and probably. Well, to be fair, we have our EE TV box upstairs as well, which has the. It's complicated because Now Sports.
You don't
certain
say.
devices they
Oh my God.
they don't deliver 50 frames per second for sports
here
on
we
certain
go.
devices.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Right, okay.
It's a right fucking ball ache.
Is it though?
Well, they make
Is
it a
it?
fucking ball ache. They make it a ball ache.
In 49 frames
No,
per second.
in 25 frames per
Mate,
second
you would have
versus
a fucking-
50, it's a
Mate, you would
difference.
have a knip fit with me. I started watching Sopranos last night. I'm like, you know what? I've never watched The Sopranos. I know everybody talks about it. Everybody says it was great or whatever. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit down and watch it. I may have found a way to watch it through the back door, right? Because it's not available on whatever. But I am watching on 480p. I think
Fuck
it is.
off. You can't watch that. That's bullshit. It's a good job you don't wear glasses. That's all I say.
This is from like 1999. It does.
You can watch it in HD if you pay for it.
Right, but the point is, I just watched it. I watched it, and within 5 seconds, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
480p. Fucking
I don't
hell.
think it was 480p. It
That's
didn't.
bad.
There was one close up, and it didn't
That's
look
like
480p. I don't think
old
it is.
school TV. That's That's not even HD ready, mate. That's like 1985.
Yeah, I don't
TV.
think that sounds like too shitty than it was.
Yeah,
it
that is
didn't
well
look
shitty.
that shitty. It does say 480p though on the thing.
That's 640 by 480. That's like old school.
I watched the original Quantum Leap.
That
series
sounds 480.
in 480. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
It wasn't
you
that
get
good
through
in the first place.
Did you get through it all right, Dave?
Yeah, I did.
No,
Yeah.
you're not scarred for life at the
What
low
was the
resolution.
What was the little gizmos called?
Just
When
literally
it-
Gizmo.
No, we used to call it something. When the like,
Ziggy.
Ziggy. It wasn't Siri. It was Ziggy. That's where they come up
Ziggy
with
was
Siri.
the
Isn't it?
AI, yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, Neil, are you good there? Can I carry on?
Go on then.
So yeah, I started watching Sopranos. It's very good. Basically, I completely identify.
Oh, you
with...
said it was shit.
What?
You
No, I
just said you couldn't be arsed with it.
No, I
Did you
didn't
not?
say that.
He didn't
No.
care if it was 480.
Oh, okay.
No, I had no. Yeah, no, I didn't. It didn't bother me. I enjoyed watching it. Yeah, it's all right. Showing its age a little bit, but it's from 1999. You know, when you watch
Have
something,
you got to the
right?
things in the swimming pool? Was it the
No, I've
swimming
only
pool?
watched. Oh, the ducks in the swimming pool. That's the first episode, right? Where
Yeah.
he's losing his mind, Yeah, well, he's seen the shrink, isn't he? Anyway, it's pretty cool. I'd like to keep watching that. We also started watching The Residents on Netflix. My wife
Hang on, I think my
started
wife's
watching
watching
it.
that.
Yeah, she said it was very good. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Yep, it is very good. I recommend that if you like a good whodunit. And it's quite funny in parts.
That's
good.
the guy.
Yeah,
Is it my guy from My Name Is Earl? Is he in that?
he
Is
is
it
in
the thing from
yeah.
the White House thing? Is the White House thing?
It's the White House. Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
based around the White House, where the head usher, who is Gus from Breaking Bad.
Okay. Okay, I
gets-
might be into this.
Yeah, he gets killed right in the middle of when there's a state dinner with the Australian Prime Minister and all his entourage.
You're saying it's less
And-
insane than what's actually happening in the White House.
It
right now.
actually is probably less insane, yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's good. So they call in this super, this I think what's it? Cordelia, I think her name is. It's based around her. She's like a modern day Hercule Poirot, right? So
Nice.
she's world renowned.
Is she Belgian?
She's not. She's American, but she's the quirk that she has is she's a bird watcher, right?
Yeah, the moustache.
So they keep doing things like they're talking. Anyway, look. Anyway, she's a bird watcher or whatever, and that comes into play.
A twitcher, they call that over here.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, is it Andre Brower, the actor who died a couple of years ago, was supposed to be in this, and they shot a lot of the episodes with him. And then
Andre
reshoot it.
Brower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know who that is.
That sounds
District
terrible, but I don't know who it is.
99, District 9,
Don't watch
not
that.
District, Brooklyn 99,
I didn't watch that.
or
Oh, the chief.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder
yeah.
wonder what he was going to play. He could probably play maybe the New York City cop or something. Anyway, whatever. There's lots of faces in there I recognize from stuff. It's good. I find it very enjoyable what I've watched so far. I've watched 2 episodes. It's good. Did make me laugh in quite a few spots.
Yeah, well, like I say, I walked in and there was like the guy from My Name Was Earl, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And he
Yeah.
was just like crazy, fucked up hair, like he shouldn't have been there or whatever.
Yeah, he's the
I don't know. It
president's
looked
brother.
What, playing the character from My Name Is Earl?
yeah,
Pretty
basically,
much.
it looked like My Name Was Earl.
Yeah, he's the president's brother who lives in the White House or whatever, and he hates it all. He's quite funny.
Well, it's quite true to life, I
Yes.
imagine.
So that's
Well-
been going on. I had the dentist this week. I said to you guys, that was bizarre. The most bizarre dentist. Here's the thing about my dentist trip. First of all, I was supposed to go to the dentist. I had to have some a cleaning and some cavity work, and I booked it months in advance. And then they phoned me up and they said the dentist is going on holiday. I was like, oh, it's very nice that he can afford to go on holiday. How does he do that? And they're like, well, it's with all the fucking money you pay him, obviously. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, how can I help you? And they're like, well, we need to reschedule. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I rescheduled. Fucking go. And then they phoned me up and they go, your appointment's at 12. I said, I have in my calendar here. They phoned me up to say, tomorrow, you still good for your appointment at 12? I said, my appointment's here. It says 11. They go, oh, we have 12. I said, okay, whatever, 12, fine. Then they phone me back and they go, oh, sorry, we got that wrong. It is 11. I go, okay, right, thank you. Then I go to the appointment. I arrive bang on 11, and they fucking leave me waiting in the waiting room for 20 minutes. I was fuming, absolutely fuming.
What
And
did you say about it?
Did when they called you through, did it say, hang on, no, I'm not ready yet. Hang on a second, I'll just sit here.
Mate, I'm just.
Were you so fuming you actually complained, or did you just sit there and go?
Yeah. I voice my displeasure. I always do. And whatever. There was a bit of.
This is why you had pain at the dentist.
This is a bit of. Well,
Did you say of your complaints until after you'd seen the dentist?
Bizarrely, the dental work doesn't feel as good as it normally is. But yeah, I don't know. It just pissed me off. Like, I'm like, dude, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not. This isn't a doctor's office where this is the National Health Service or what we have over here, right? Pretty much the same thing. Where I understand that the system's creaking or whatever, and but this
you
is a
basically have private
practice.
dentists.
This is a private practice. You fucking rescheduled me on
You've
something I
already
booked months in
inconvenienced me
advance.
once, and now you inconvenience me when I arrive. God damn it!
And now you're gonna leave me sitting in the waiting room for 20 minutes. I was just losing my shit.
Did you not leave?
I could be working right now.
A tip, as if I leave my dentist a tip. So anyway, that set me off. It takes nothing to set me off these days, anyway. What else? Oh, it's my birthday at the weekend. So yeah, my birthday was on Sunday. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. So
I already said.
Oh yeah,
happy
but that was the
birthday,
other thing about the
but,
dentist is I go into the dentist, everything's fine, right? I come out of the dentist, it's fucking my car's covered in like an inch of snow and ice. I was like, what the hell? And we had this ice storm that just blew through while I was getting my mouth beaten up.
Well, that make you feel better,
Yeah.
won't it? Lovely
Yeah.
winter
When your
wonderland. as you
teeth
come
were
out.
extra sensitive, you came out and went, oh yeah.
In the middle of spring.
Yeah, that didn't help. It was my birthday on Sunday. Very nice. Got looked after by the family. It was lovely. I just chilled out and nothing of any major note. Oh, we had lamb spadinis for dinner. That was what I did. So I don't know. Spaducci's, yeah. So they're like a small Spaducci's or spadinis. I think that you can call them either. They're like tiny, small lamb skewers. I like bought a box of 50 of them. We just gorged ourselves.
Oh, I saw that. I saw an image of those. Where did I see that?
I think
I was going to say
posted
it wasn't the Sopranos sort of based.
Spaducci.
They are definitely Italian. That's how I know of it from all the Italians I used to work near.
I've never seen the Sopranos. I didn't know if they eat them on that or not.
I don't know.
I've only watched a bit of Sopranos.
Okay, we're not going back to Sopranos.
No.
Yeah, so that was it. So yeah, I had a very nice week. That was good. Dave, what have you been up to?
Oh, what? I finished watching Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. I started that ages ago, and I've just kind of like been watching an episode here and there. Go for it. Loved it. Actually, really enjoyed it. What's
What's
it's
this
a lot
guy's
better
name? Who's the guy? It's a big famous guy in it.
Oh,
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alright. There's one or two characters who are a bit weak in it. It's really good when the monsters are on. When the monsters are not on, it's a bit.
I quite enjoyed what I saw of that. I didn't finish it, but maybe getting Apple TV back for a month soon.
Good. Yeah, it's worth it. I watched the first Godzilla. I watched the 2012 Godzilla, and
Which one's this? That's
this is the first
the Breaking
of the
Bad
remake.
guy.
Yeah.
Is he in it? Bryan Cranston.
Well,
That's what his
Malcolm
name
in the
is.
Middle, guys. Yeah.
Bryan Cranston. I don't know if
yeah.
I've actually seen that one.
Have you not? That's good. But
it's not Matthew Broderick, is it? It's not that one, is it?
No,
that's
way
before
before,
that.
wasn't
That's
it?
way old, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like the Jamiroquai one, isn't it?
Yeah. So Monarch Legacy of Monsters directly follows that Godzilla film. And then I want to watch the rest of them.
What, Godzilla films?
Yeah.
Have you seen
last three?
What's that then? There's -1, which I don't think is related to any of the others.
That is the Japanese.
Yeah.
The Japanese and American
World War
are separate.
II one. Yeah.
Yeah. Post World War II. The other. Hang on a second. I'll just remind myself. Oh god, there's hundreds of the fuckers. Godzilla.
Is there what's the Kong one? The Kong.
Yeah. So.
Kong Island. Yeah.
So King
Skull
of
Island.
Monsters is the sequel to Godzilla 2014, and then it's Godzilla versus Kong, and then Godzilla versus X-Con: The New Order, New Empire.
This is becoming a bit of Transformers.
It's a bit, isn't it? But no, I do like the American Godzilla films. I also watched not long ago.
I remember the classics.
Godzilla -1. So,
Godzilla versus Mothra and shit like that
yes.
from way back,
Yeah.
like black and white shit.
Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Way bad, way shit.
I used to watch them when I was.
Like they were on about 2 o'clock in the morning on like Channel 4
yeah.
or something in black and white.
Yeah, they're great. Loved them. After like Euro Trash or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, I'm kind of going through the Godzilla franchise at the moment. At least the American one.
That's cool. I've always felt like I wanted to get into them, but I never have. But at some point, maybe I'll sit down and give them.
They're great when you've got a powered subwoofer.
And I do.
What have you got? What have you got there? What have you got there,
Me?
Dave?
I've got a Rel.
A Rel.
Yeah.
Is this you got your 7.1 amp? Have you?
So it's the.
Is it Denon? Did you have a Denon?
Yeah, got a Denon.
Yeah.
X2700, I think.
So you full like 7 speakers?
No, not at the moment. No, I've got 3 at the front. I've got a center, 2 fronts, and a sub. And I've got
rears.
I've got my rears, but I haven't got speaker stands, so I haven't actually
not wired them in.
No. And I've been playing with the idea of like
the simplicity of the Sonos surround sound is pretty handy. Because I've got my IKEA lamps as my surround sound speakers, and they're quite loud. They're quite good surround speakers. Football is hilarious in surround sound.
Not because you can hear all the.
Because you just hear like someone it's just like normal football sound. Then all of a sudden you just hear a single solitary voice like, "You're fucking shit, mate." It's like, well, I definitely wouldn't have heard that normally.
So yeah, that's it.
Right. Excuse me for 2 seconds. I was going to feed my dog. You carry on.
Yeah, I think everybody else has done there. So the other thing I've been watching is Severance.
Have you fully up to speed?
Oh. Not fully up to speed yet.
So where you're on season 2?
Season 2. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't started season 2. This is why I think the next month of TV that we buy is going to be Apple, because I want to watch Severance season 2, and I want to finish off like Legacy of Monsters and a few bits and bobs.
Yeah, Severance really good, really good. You've seen the first season as well.
I said the first season was like, this is very odd. This is very odd. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. And then the last episode, like, holy fucking shit! This is
Yeah.
really good. So yeah, and then it was like, now I'm gonna have to wait.
So the missus has definitely fallen off the wagon on that one.
Really?
She's more just looking at her phone now. She doesn't care. But I like it.
Has she got an iPhone?
No.
That probably
Why?
doesn't help. Oh, it's an Apple TV show.
Oh right, yeah. No. So yeah, I'm just sort of putting it on. So I've not got to the end. I've got into like episode 6 or 7 or something like that, and I think there's 10. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
And the last thing,
I'm looking forward to getting into that season 2.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it doesn't just go back to start of season 1 at the beginning of season 2, but we'll see.
the other thing I was going to talk about is I got a reminder for my car tax about a month ago.
Oh,
And then,
that changes, doesn't it? This month.
How so?
Is it? Well, I don't know when it's from, but all the new tax brands are going all fucking weird.
Oh, I don't know
this
about that.
month.
All right, I just get a reminder and I pay it. Well, I get a reminder and I should remember to pay it. But you know when you like just put a letter on the side and you're like, I'll remember that when I'm at the end of the month when I got some money. Yeah,
Naughty.
I missed that until today, which is the 4th. And I was like, why is that?
I think you might have just got away
reminder?
with it because I reckon from the 6th of April it goes fucking different.
Is that? Oh, okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Right. No, I looked at it. I was like, oh shit, it's supposed to be paid on the last day of the month, which was the 30th or 31st.
Did I talk to you about car insurance?
No, I don't think so.
I had my car insurance renewal, and it went from like £180 to £360.
Mine went up massively as well. Yeah.
How about you fuck off? Went to go compare, and got it back down to like 180 quid.
Yeah.
Complained to my current insurer, and they said, "What's your best price?" And I said, £180. And they were like, "Well, the best we can do is £280." I was like, "Well, you can fuck off then." Because I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I went from similar 200 odd to my insurance then went up to 500.
What?
And I was with Avira, and then
I've just gone to Aviva.
And then I shopped around for a bit, and then Aviva Zero was 200 quid. So it's like, well, I'll change to Aviva Zero
with the same
then.
cover,
with the same cover, same everything, same.
Got
same
breakdown. Got all this bollocks protected.
Like,
yeah. It's
like,
a big fucking scam.
Yeah. Cheers.
Till you have an accident, and then you find out how good your insurance is. Mine was 5-star de facto. Still, that's all I know.
No, I don't know.
Which means when I need it, hopefully it actually pays out.
I really should get a multi-car policy.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're that good. They're a ball ache because you have to you've never got the same dates, have you?
No,
it's like, oh, this is a fucking pain in the arse.
But then you got to cancel one. There's always a cancellation fee, and like what you saving? It's like, yeah.
It's a fucking scam, Dave.
All right.
How's your insurance, Fres?
My insurance?
Yeah, car insurance.
You guys would fucking cry if I told you my car insurance.
I'd cry laughing, maybe.
Yeah, you absolutely will not cry laughing. The amount of insurance I pay, I bet you the insurance I pay on my car is less than Neil pays on his car. I almost guarantee it. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I think you fucking have no idea how. Like, I'm not saying that we do well on everything, but the car insurance, I don't. I think what it is here in the
because you can't have fun not driving your car in North America.
Well, no, I think it's just
not that I can have fun in driving my car because it's a shit car.
I mean, I knew this anyway. What happened was coming over from UK. I already had a built-in from all my driving being in the UK. I had a built-in fear of driving, decent motors, right? Let's just call them decent motors, right?
Anything above a 1.6.
Right. And so, at one point, I think one of the Jags I had was like, it was a 4.2 liter V8, right? And I was just like, he told me how much it cost. And I was like, yeah, I can afford to buy it. I said, but can I afford to insure it? And I phoned them up. They're just like fucking absolutely almost
That's
no
like a
difference from my
that's like a
fucking Mazda
fucking
626.
1.5 Fiesta.
So they just don't. I mean, if you get,
Do you just not have
if,
accidents over there?
I think there's two things. One is the cars that I've owned, they've had big engines and they've been performance cars, right? But they've been old and high mileage. So I think I offset that way, right?
But surely a big old car is still capable of murdering somebody else.
Their concern is not you murdering other people. Their concern is replacing the car, right? And so
Do you not have to? Is that how cheap
let me
life
just
is
finish.
over there?
Just let me finish. So if I'm driving a car that costs me 10 grand, an old car that costs me, yeah, sure, it's got a nice big fat engine in it, it's fast as fuck, right? But it costs 10 grand, right? They are daily. I mean, a new car, like, I don't think that's what I'm trying to explain to you with what you sort of, I don't know if you get, right? My cars cost 10 grand, right? That's fuck all, right? A new car off the lot costs 60 grand. Right, and it is highly desirable to thieves. My car is not highly desirable to thieves. It costs fuck
It's
all.
a Jaguar.
And the insurance company. Thank you, Neil. I know what car I drive, and the insurance company can write that off. Right, I can write it off. Right, I could lose my car and not really lose much sleep over it because I just can go and fucking buy another one because they don't cost 60 grand. Right, I mean that's the, and so I think that's
60 grand is the new 40 grand. Is that?
That's why my insurance is low, and that's the game I play, right? That's the game of car ownership I play.
My car's worth fuck all as well.
Let me finish talking. Jesus Christ! Some people play that game that car ownership. I think Pilch is like this. He plays that car ownership game, right, where he buys higher value cars and he manages to keep them for smaller amounts of time and then flip them or whatever. So he's not really
he doesn't lose loads of money.
Right. So he's playing up in that. I don't play up there. I play down here, right? In low value cars, right? That probably more of my money is going in, rather than going into purchase price, is going into maintenance, right? Of course, it's fucking maintenance is Jay. What he's for fucking Sorry, I just get that in before you do.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. Oh, fuck off.
I've said my point. I've made that point already.
So anyway, that's why I think. So my insurance, yeah, it's not been that. It's
I don't think we insure things the same way over here. It's not like the cost of replacing whatever you own. It's the damage you can do to other things. How we reinsure things.
I think America and Canada have a maximum pot that somebody can claim from. So if Fraser was involved in an accident and he, God forbid, caused a serious injury to somebody else, no fault of his own, or partial fault, their insurances can only claim up to whatever the maximum pot of what Fraser's insurance would allow, which is like, I don't know, £100,000, for example, for medical bills. Whereas our insurance pots are unlimited. So if a judge in the UK, England, will say, well, this person's been affected the whole life, and this is the cost of their whole life's requirement from your involvement with their accident and your partial, so we'll give them a couple of £1 million, and the insurance has got to cover that. Whereas in America, Canada, North America, they've got a maximum pot per insurance policy, so you can only claim up to a certain amount, and that's all they'll claim for. Even if it is a life-changing injury, they can't claim more than what Fraser's insurance has.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think that's different, and it's
there's a lot of and you could
but
be. You could be right.
Paying
there's a lot
for everyone in America's insurance? Is that what you're saying?
Of course you're not. Don't be so ridiculous. So, I think they work it slightly different here. And I can never remember here. Here they insure the driver.
Right.
No, here you insure the car, but in England you insure the driver. Is that right?
It's a bit of a mix of both. Like we insure you insure the driver, but it depends on which car the driver is driving, how much your insurance is.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's all very fucking pie in the sky. Here's an interesting
your driving
thing.
history will definitely impact, and your claims history totally impacts how much your insurance is. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the same everywhere.
I don't know. I had an accident 15 years ago where I
That's
rammed
not
into the back-
included.
I
anymore.
rammed into the back of some guy. I never had to pay out. My insurance never went up. They just paid it and just life carried on as normal. I don't
Wow.
even know. Like, it's just
We have like a 5-year
strange.
thing. Like you have to announce claims.
Yeah.
Any accidents or claims within 5 years, you have to announce effectively when you get a claim, when you get a quote, and then they assess on that. But they could
Yeah.
it's all fucking centralized, and every fucking detail of your driving history is already available. So if you
Oh
lie,
yeah, of course,
you're
right.
fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They already know. I mean,
yeah.
they should get to a point where you don't even need to tell them. It should be on one
Yeah, it
centralized.
should be. You'd think
here's
like,
my
just
driving
fucking
record.
give me my quote and stop being a dick. Stop telling me it's going to cost me twice as much as it did last year when you know you can fucking basically charge me the same as it did last year.
Mm.
Twats.
They rely on people just not just hoping that it will just renew. That I think that's half the game. Is like they hope
that's
that people can't be bothered
Yeah.
to do the round the houses and go on
Yeah.
Go Compare and stuff.
I was
so.
thinking that when you were talking about doing the Go Compare, I was like, I wonder if
They introduced
mo- it-
legislation last
he's
year.
done it again. He's just fucking
Sorry,
just
sorry.
Anyway, let's move on to games.
Well, this is going to be a very brief section.
Come
So
on,
showing
then.
the insurance podcast has ended.
I was just going to say, I wondered if it was they do that. They have a predicted gamble that it's actually more in their favor to not
Oh,
offer,
they must
right?
do. They must do.
Somebody must be working that shit out, right?
Those there must as much as everyone's been banging on about for the last fucking 20 years. Make sure you fucking go around, shop around.
is back online, everyone.
Just make sure you shop around every fucking year. People have been banging on about that shit for fucking decades. But there must still be people who just can't be asked. Otherwise,
here's
why
the
would they
question.
fucking
Sorry, I
double
know,
your
the
insurance every year?
The insurance podcast does need to end, but here's the question, and it's sort of aimed a little bit at Dave and at Neil as well. But like, if you're a new insurer, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who you said you were insured with.
Don't think I did.
If you're a new insurer, how do they get new? If their insurance rates are so much higher, you said you got 180 and they were going 280 or whatever. That's like 50%
I had my current
higher.
insurer. My current insurer basically offered me double the premium on the next year. And like in previous years, they've done the same. And I've gone around and gone back to them and said, I've got a quote for X, and they go, yeah, fine. Well, it's like £10 more than X, but you still keep all of these benefits, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck it, whatever. For £10, I can't be asked to move. But this time, I just did the whole thing online, and it was like, here's your quote, and I was like, well, that's a shit quote. Went to Go Compare, got literally like the same price as last year. Went back online, and it says, when you get the option to click, are you not happy with your renewal? I was like, no, I'm not happy with my renewal. And they're like, enter your renewal quote from another plan. I was like, blah, 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 £180. And they were like, well, here's your £280 quote. And I was like, here's my fucking big fat middle finger saying, fuck off and just cancel your insurance.
And that's my question.
It's just like, I done it literally in 10 minutes while I was going for a shit.
If you're new, though, and you go to them, are they giving you, as a new customer, the $280 quote?
No.
And if they are, then how on earth are they getting new business?
They're not doing that because there's all these weird, like, if there's definitely stuff they did, like legislation came in, like basically if you went through the same comparison sites as you went through the previous year, like basically we have this guy Martin Lewis. You know the Martin Lewis? Yeah. So he basically says,
followed him before
make sure you use all the different comparison sites because there's some weird scam shit basically, like the insurer can only offer you the same prices they get through whatever the comparison site that you went through the year before or something like that. So basically use all of the comparison sites, make sure you use all the direct ones that aren't on the comparison sites. And I was like, I can't be fucking asked with that. But I just use Go Compare. And it basically got me another quote that was basically the same price I was paying. I was like, this is fucking such a load of bullshit.
Yeah, it's very strange. Okay, all right. Look, that's definitely the end of the insurance podcast. until next week. Let's move on then to what we've been playing. Dave is our savior here. He has games coming out of the wazoo. And by games coming out of the wazoo, I mean
3, effectively.
3. Yeah, it's really 3. He stretched it to 4. I don't know why.
And 3 of those I've played before.
All of them you've played before. Yeah?
What?
Well, sort of. We've heard about them all.
Right, so I'll kick off. X4.
Yes.
I hit the fucking
think-
gameplay lottery.
I think I'm at the end.
Oh.
Oh, yeah?
Play with that. Yeah, I've got to a point where I'm earning lots of money. Yeah, I've got to my production goal of being self-sustaining. Got all the factories that I wanted, all automated. Yeah, I can attack. There's a lot more in the game, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think I've
The
reached
actual
my
space
peak.
stuff looks quite a lot like Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, plays quite similar to it as well. Yeah, it's a very good space game simulator.
Is there any real? Can you do the whole trading space, like going buy shit, sell shit? You can basically play like Elite Dangerous, but also
play it like an engine, and then pull out from the map, and then automate it all, or just have it as a top-down trading sim, and then you can create production chains and space stations and production queues.
do asteroid mining.
Yes, you can.
You've basically ripped off Elite Dangerous and Stellaris and smashed it into one game. Is that what you're saying?
In a single player setting.
There's no multiplayer.
And it's no multiplayer, but it's all single player. But you can do it from first person. You could do everything first person, or you could do everything top down, and everything in between. I think that it's a fantastic game. I haven't bought any of the DLCs.
There's loads of DLC I saw because I had a Humble
Yeah.
Bundle come through and it was loads of X stuff.
Yeah, you can get it. Buy it. There's loads of including stuff. I've put in 200 odd hours, maybe a bit more, and haven't felt like I've needed it. And I haven't even probably got to the end of my playthrough. I haven't finished the game, and I've done that amount. But yeah, I'm like, meh. I think I know and I've learned and I've done all my objectives of what I wanted to do on that game.
You've played Elite, haven't you?
Yeah.
Dangerous, that is.
Yes.
So would
I've
you
played it with
rather?
VR.
Would you rather play Elite Dangerous or would you rather play this?
Probably Elite at the moment because I've finished playing X4.
Yeah.
And Elite's
So
got
is there more
DLC
to
out.
Elite Dangerous? Like it's a bit more open ended and like.
So Elite Dangerous is bigger in that still 99.9% of Elite hasn't been discovered. There's lots. Well, how old's Elite now? 8, 9 years old.
It's got to be getting on for like 10 years.
Yeah, continually.
I'm
evolving.
astounded. Like I don't think I've installed it, but I haven't actually got around to playing it. But when I looked at it, I was like, I don't think I've played it for like 6 years, and so much has happened in those 6 years. I'm like,
yeah,
and it's
There's
still
carriers
just
now.
getting updates.
You can hitch rides across the galaxy in carriers, and still 99.9% of it hasn't been explored. So, and these carriers can travel like 600 light years in one jump.
Yeah, apparently the Milky Way is quite big.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd play Elite because I haven't played Elite. Out of the two,
You fancy getting a little group going?
I'll see because I've got another game that might be a bit my crack.
Cracky.
Yeah. So I'll talk about Wreckfest 1 and 2 quickly. Before I'll let Neil go on to his next one. Still playing 2.
Any updates?
Yes, quite a few updates
To the game, that is, rather than
the
like
game.
your.
They're fixing a lot of bugs, a lot of crashes. Crashes as in crashing to desktop rather than actual crashes of car crashes.
Hey, he's here all week, folks.
That's why he's here.
So they're making the game more stable, which is good. It's great.
My
Perfect.
word.
They've done a massive survey, asking everybody what they want, and I've chucked in my 2 cents, whatever that's worth. And yeah,
Honestly,
but
the video I'm watching right now of the internal camera looks way better than Breakfast.
Breakfast 1. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we saw. Was it last week, Dave? We were watching you play, right? It was. I was impressed with what I saw.
yeah, it's a big upgrade.
I was
In
impressed with the way that your car had no front wheels, was like half the width it started at, and was still driving around.
just about, yeah. Yeah, the destructibility of the cars is great. Yeah, it's so funny when the wheels and the tires pop, and then the tires come off the rims, and then the rims get destroyed. And you still got like 2 laps to go, and you're like, fuck's sake. And yeah, the car just doesn't turn unless you like are literally crawling around the corner. And then you see another car, and you think, oh, I've got to like bomb into it and try and take it out. Yeah, it's a great game.
Have they
Wreckfest
added
2.
any more tracks yet?
No more tracks, no
Bummer.
more cars, and still the customization of changing the
I'm
gear
never going to be
ratios.
bothered. Oh, right. Okay. That might.
Um,
Yeah, I probably wouldn't
yeah,
bother. Don't worry about that.
um,
Honestly, you
uh,
couldn't get asked with that. In Wreckfest. In a game like
uh,
Wreckfest, I'm like, fuck it. Just give me the car and let's fucking go racing.
I had today earlier. I had an absolutely amazing race with a couple of people. It was the track the server was called No Corner Bombing, so it encouraged racing rather than smashing up to be had. But honestly, I had one of the best races I've had between Wreckfest 1 and 2. There was me and 5 other cars all vying for first, and um, yeah, it was just great racing.
That's good.
When you could find a little bit of sort of not mud,
Asphalt.
asphalt or tarmac,
Extra grip.
and you get a bit of extra grip off and around the corner, and you take it. Yeah, it was really well done. And yeah, going forward,
Honestly, the more I
when
watch
this
this video, I'm just like, it looks fucking awesome. It looks
it is
fucking
good.
No, well, I
awesome.
mean, well, that's Dave saying what he's saying right there. That's a glowing reference,
It's
right?
yeah,
Considering how we were talking about it last week, being sort of
it was
debate.
very janky before.
Yeah.
And they've done some good updates. And to be honest, yes, there is still a limited amount of cars. The full amount of customization is not
Still
there.
on the cheap though, isn't it? I think.
It's still on
When
the
I
cheap.
looked at it the other day, it was still cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Yeah.
20 quid. 20 quid. People are complaining about 70 fucking 80 quid games on
Yeah,
Nintendo Switch
yeah.
2. 20 quid, Wreckfest 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I have put. I did jump into Wreckfest 1. For I'm a bit bored of Wreckfest 2. That hasn't got all these nice bells and whistles like all the leaderboards and the point scoring and the mini map and the times between when the car in front and behind and things like that. Went into Wreckfest 1, I was like, yeah, it's got all that, but it's just not as good of a
It's just
racing game.
it feels like an old game,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah,
compared to like
yeah,
Wreckfest 2.
yeah.
I
So
was just like watching that video, I'm like, fuck me, this game. It
it's
looks
yeah,
mint.
and the
It looks
destructibility not
great.
only of the cars but also of the track as well. They've put loads of stuff on the track, and like you can smash through gates, and they wang open and then close back, and then like yeah, if another car hits it when it's coming back, it comes off its gate and stuff.
I might just buy this. I've had a few beers. I might just buy Wreckfest 2.
Do it. Do it.
So I, again, I wouldn't say
Can't recommend it.
buy it. I am enjoying it a lot more than Wreckfest 1, and
The potential is there.
some servers that you can get. So like I always play on multiplayer servers. Some servers you can go on and either they're all bots or everyone's just out to smash each other, and sometimes that's fun. Just get smashed up in first lap, first corner, you're dead. Fine, don't care. And then you're just waiting for the cars to go around. Some servers it's semi-clean or clean encouraged racing, and you can
Is
get
there any
good racing.
customizability of the lobby rules? You could
yes.
just like put it out as a statement, but that people, whether people will pay attention to it or not.
So most of the online servers that you go onto, there's an admin running it that can change the rules, and I think the rules are changing is either like map, the time of day, the amount of bots, the amount of laps, and I'm not sure if they can change the scale of the destructibility or how quick your car gets destructed or not destroyed.
Or whether you can respawn and things like that.
Respawn timer is one of them as well. Most of them have like 2 or 3 second respawn timer. Some of them are like instant. You press R and it respawns instantly. Some are like 5 or 7 seconds, so it really penalises you. But yeah, it's all dependent. And again, you can get on some servers and like everyone's a dick. It's fine. There's one
I
called
played Gran Turismo. I know that shit.
there's one called Poop Shit Show, and it's literally everyone corner bombs into the first corner, and that's the point of the whole server. It's like literally you just try and take everybody out, and sometimes there's literally one car limping around the rest of the laps.
And everyone's watching that one car for 3 laps.
That's it.
Can they get to the end without spanking it into like wrecking their car?
Yeah, and sometimes they don't, and they just like flip it, and like it's like, and that's quite funny. Or there's ones where like it's a proper good racing.
Gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, and you know if someone's an arsehole, you call them out on it, on the screen.
Yes, yeah, it does look a massive upgrade visually for sure, and I bet it feels pretty good.
I think so, but I don't play things like Gran Turismo or Assetto Corsa or the.
Sims.
What I would say, for me and how I think it handles your car on mud or tarmac or 2 wheels in the air, I think it's quite realistic. I think there's a good understanding of that you've got to really be careful about when you put your power down.
When you can get like detailed about it, or you can just go fuck it.
Yeah. You know, it's on one of the courses I've got really good of literally just doing a power slide around the whole corner, and I literally turn in and then turn against and just like keep the power down, and I do a perfect power slide around. It's not any quicker than
feels
normally,
great.
but it just and it's good because it blocks off a whole bit of track that somebody can't overtake you on. Yeah.
Until they just completely plow you into the fucking fence or something.
Until they just nudge you and like you go off completely, and you're like, you bastard.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fun.
Does look good.
Right.
I played some Gran Turismo.
Oh.
And I did a thing that I don't normally do. I jumped into an online lobby this week. I'm not putting a video up, but I don't do that very often. And I did 2 races, I think.
No, you do the time trials, don't you?
Yeah, I do quite a lot of the time trials, and there's a guaranteed gold basically on this week on the time trials because it's Daytona Oval.
For you, maybe.
Like, there's Daytona Oval. If you can't get a gold, you've got to be within the top so many % of gold time. And I'm like, everyone's basically doing the same time in that because it's like you just hug the inside line. It's the jet car. Right. It's like a fan. It's like a fucking. I can't remember what it's called. J something or other, whatever. Basically, it's got fans and it basically sucks it to the ground. It does not fucking slide. So it's got insane amounts of downforce.
I thought those times were dynamic though, so like it done it against a percentage of the community.
Yeah, so no, but it does that, but it's like within the top 1% of times you're a gold. So whatever it's weird. Like I guess some people have got to be shit, but they have to be really fucking shit. It's not be really close to the top time.
Right.
So currently, I instantly did a gold. I was like, yeah, I'm like 0.3 off the best time in the world, which normally I'm like fucking 5 seconds off the best time in the world. So I don't know how it's going to spin out, but I feel like it's got to be pretty close to being the top. Anyway, what I did do was play a couple of online races.
Yep.
In the sports
that go?
mode. Didn't go well, got to be honest.
No?
What, for you or for everybody else?
Well, both, generally. Because I qualified like in the back end of the grid. I'm a grade C on Gran Turismo in terms of performance.
Right.
Grade S, driver safety. So I don't crash into other people. And I'm only grade C. It goes up to S, obviously, in terms of quality. I'm never going to get to S because I'm on a controller. You need a fucking steering wheel and be a no-life, a Gran Turismo to get to like fucking S grade quality.
And good.
Well, yeah, exactly. A no-lifer Gran Turismo player.
Well, I think you could be a no-lifer Gran Turismo player and be bad.
You'd fucking hope not. But there we go. So, a bit annoying. My experience was I didn't improve on my positions. I definitely, when one race I completely fucked up and just went off the track, and I was like, bollocks, I've really screwed up. But the next lap, the next race, I was in Group 4s, so I can't remember what I was driving. Doesn't really matter because they're all homologated. They all get restricted to because it's Group 4, but everyone gets restricted to the same horsepower and same other thing. I can't remember what it is. There's 2 ratings, basically, the big ratings. They basically make every car perform the same.
Right.
But the gear change times might be different depending on which car you drive and stuff like that. But still, they're all like the same overall performance. And so I start the race and I'll look at the lobby and I'll see the one person in front of me has got red ping. I'm like, feels like this could be a bit of a challenge. And it turns out I was correct because when you're racing against, I'm on a green ping and this person in front of me is on a red ping. And they're relatively similar in terms of standard, but their ping is shit. So their car is just fucking jumping around all over the track. And I'm like, how am I going to fucking overtake this person? It doesn't ghost. It's just like solid car all the time. And I'm like, I can't get too close to this guy. And so
does it literally jump?
It literally is like it's like jagging around all over the place. I'm like, oh my fucking god. So I'm like, there's a point where I'm like, yes, I've got this guy. He's fucking well off the pace. He's out. He's completely missed the line, and then I'm going through a corner, and all of a sudden, he just appears in front of me, and I'm like, bang, straight into his ass. 5-second penalty. I was like, are you fucking having a laugh? I just got a 5-second penalty where you literally just fucking lag spawned him straight in front of me. I was like, that's not improved my mood. Yeah. So yeah, a bit annoying when you come across things like that. But on the whole, it's still all right. The racing is quite clean, and because there's the driver safety rating, like I got a 5-second penalty, but I didn't suffer because maybe it took pity on me. But a 5-second penalty just completely fucks your race. Because basically how it works is you get to a line and it makes you slow down for however long you get a penalty for. So it's like if you cut a little bit of a corner, it's like half a second. Maybe a bit bigger cut, it's a second. But I punted this guy off the track and I got a 5-second penalty. I was like, well, that's my fucking race over then. Because it was literally like fucking yams. It doesn't just slow you down and not let you accelerate. It just puts the brakes on for 5 seconds and you like basically go down to 0 speed and everyone just goes, see ya. And you're like, well, that's fun.
It doesn't add it on in the race?
No, it literally slows you down at a point on the next lap. Unless it's on the last lap when you get a 5. But slowing down at top, like it's always on a really high speed part of the track, and it makes you put the brakes on. And you're like,
yeah, that's not a 5-second penalty.
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
more than a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I was fucking screwing in that race. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. But I still play it every fucking day. But I don't do the online racing.
All right. What else you got, Dave?
Well, the last one I was going to talk about was Schedule 1 or I? I still haven't
Schedule
decided.
one.
I'm pretty
It's
sure it's
schedule one.
schedule one.
Schedule 1.
Roman
Schedule
one.
1. I purchased the full game,
Ooh.
All right.
and I've not got past where I did in the demo, but I played the prologue, which wasn't.
Oh, did it not continue your progress?
No, no,
That's a bit annoying.
I know. But no, it's right. I know what to do now. I could probably do it like twice as quick.
Yeah, you know exactly where to go. I spent hours looking around a pool area for the dead drop. I couldn't find it until
Yeah.
for a while.
So you played the demo.
I started the demo. To say I played the demo is a little bit loose.
Right.
I started it. It was more polished than I thought. I quite liked. Not polished isn't really the right word.
It's a
maybe.
very weird dynamic on the
It's
whole.
very much in keeping. You know what? It's really weird. It reminds. So the premise of the game, anyway, is that you're a guy who turns up in a city with no job, no prospects, or whatever like that. And you got to start drug dealing and basically and growing your own drugs and all that sort of shit. It's like a sim, right? In a way, whatever.
Yeah.
But it reminded me. Do you remember back in the day, you used to get those? What were the dealer games? They were ran on your PC or whatever like that, and you could be like a dealer, and it was. They were really simple.
It's literally like a game called Drug Dealer Simulator.
Probably, but it just reminds me of these things where they've really quite straightforward premise, quite straightforward execution, but done in such a way that it looks all right. I mean, it's an odd one. It's like it's got its own style, I guess, slightly.
Yeah.
But I noticed it when we were coming in when it opened, and you're coming in over the city. I was like, that actually looks all right. And then it swooped down. The camera swooped down to street level, and then the titles screen, you go through the title screen and come in. Like it sounds
semi-polished.
Really odd. It sounds really odd, yeah, that I'm sort of focusing on that, but it was like, well, I've seen some real janky shit. This isn't that janky. I mean, you know.
I don't know. Oh God, I can't speak. So if you just saw a picture of it, you'd be like, God, that's like just general assets put together.
Right.
And like, yeah, a very basic town area placed together with roads that are all straight, and then there are things like that where it's like, actually this person or these people have thought about it, and yes, I've heard like it's a cheap GTA 6 ripoff, and maybe it is, but
definitely a lot cheaper than GTA 6.
It's definitely a lot cheaper than GTA 6. But it's still got the fun, the gameplay.
Is this guy litter picking? This guy looks like he's litter picking.
Yes, there is.
It's just like a side game.
Yeah. So I've seen some things on Reddit. It's like, why are people talking about these drugs in this litter picking simulator?
Yeah, but like you say, Dave, there was one bit where it said something. There was like some text at the bottom of the screen, which was like, I think maybe it might have been like a little, like a little, a sentence, like they put on a loading screen, like, maybe some advice or a proverb or something. And it was almost like a proverb of how to live your life and whatever like that. And I was like, that's really well suited to this premise of this game, and sort of took me by surprise. I was like, whoever's behind this,
this is a one-person thing,
right?
isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is. It's a one-person guy.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, whoever's driving it, they obviously know what They're not idiots. Like it looks like it could be made by a bunch of high schoolers who are just putting some shit together. But like I say, you dig around on it, and it gives you that feeling that it's not, right. It's just it doesn't have the high value production.
Well, they haven't spent literally hundreds of millions of dollars on
no, right.
on
They don't
making
have
it
that
look
behind
nice.
them to do it. But but if you take, just do without that, it actually still has all the makings of whatever. Anyway, Dave's played more of it than I have, so I'm sure he can.
There's 325,000 people playing it at the moment.
As in, like, concurrent players right now. Right.
Current players right
What's
now.
the old state of the reviews? It was overwhelmingly positive when I last looked, and it was like
I'm sure it's
several thousand several 100,000 probably.
Uh,
I think that whoever made this is probably set for life.
Could be.
98% of 58,000 user
Yeah.
reviews.
So
are positive.
times that by 10, that's how many people have probably bought the game.
All right. I don't want to hear about how other people are making themselves rich.
Yeah.
Talk us through what you've done so far, then, Dave. Is it?
So actually, I haven't got past.
Oh,
the
you said
demo.
you haven't got that far. Okay,
So,
so you're so right.
so
Okay.
what I said about how far I got in the demos, I completed the demo in one go last time because, yeah, I started at like 10 o'clock and I finished at like 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, the credits, the thank you for playing the demo. You can continue. I was like, it's 3:30 in the morning. I need to go to bed. I'm uninstalling this now because it's going to destroy my life.
Yeah.
So I
But
went and
then
bought the
you
game.
bought it.
So then I'll buy it. Yeah.
So,
Brilliant.
but that's fine. You know, I
You'll
know
do drugs
from-
No,
first.
you don't have to play till. This is a great metaphor for drugs.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
The first hit is free, and then you have to pay.
Exactly. They got it.
There is a meme on the on Reddit. Yeah.
What's the dealio then with multiplayer? I know Stan is pushing me to buy it.
Okay.
Has he got it already, or is he wanting?
No, I think he
Can
wants me
you,
to pay
if
for
you
it.
both pay, if you both play, surely you can't both play the same version of the game. You have
I
to
think
buy.
you
I think you
can
can.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Steam
what?
really changed it, didn't they? Everybody can play the same.
What?
No.
Really? Not on family sharing.
Yeah, no, actually you're right. So what Steam changed was before I couldn't play anything on Stan's library if Stan was using Steam.
Right.
Now
no,
it's
you
I
can't
can
play the
use
same game.
now I can play his library, but I can't play the same game.
Right. Okay.
So you
But
both
I
need
think
to
if
buy it.
there's
Gotta buy
I think
it.
if there's two people in the Steam family sharing who have the same copy, everybody has that. There's two copies to go around to other
There's
people. Right?
two people can play at the same time, but
I
not
think so.
three.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, it's up to 4 players. I think I've seen mods where people can get up to 20 players in the same game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't touched on that.
Is there a multiplayer part to this that would be any good? I mean, I
So
don't know.
what's the
Isn't
deal with
the
co-op?
premise
Yeah.
is to build your empire, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't got that
Oh.
far.
Okay.
It's there. I guess you're all contributing to the same.
Can you make hemp clothing from the offcuts of your
No, I don't.
cannabis?
No, you're just
Oh.
after the good stuff. The
All
buds.
contributing to the same economy, do you reckon, or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you share the same.
It's literally bagging up bits of weed in the video.
Yeah. You share the same premises because you can own multiple properties. You share that, and yeah, it's
Do you have to pay for all of your little plastic bags?
You do.
Is that part of the economy?
It's $1 a bag.
They haven't fucked around. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why you have to pay like loads extra for an eighth versus a quarter.
Neil's brain
Economies of
is whizzing back
scale.
to
There he's going.
Okay. It's a very well made. It's a very fun game of a game that's made okay, but with good gameplay.
What if you would liked? Is this like a clicker type of thing? If you like
No.
clicker games, no. What is it like a sim game more than?
So yeah, it's a drug dealing sim game.
Yeah, but like
Part
just
of the
because
sim
it's
is-
drugs, it might if it.
Or a litter picking simulator, if you want to pick all the litter.
It
and you
looks
can
like
get
it's
money
going to
for
be
that.
one of those things. It's going to evolve into whatever you want it
You're
to
not
be.
going to be
right?
shooting pigeons, though, are you?
Dunno.
Like shooting 100
I don't.
pigeons to
This
get
is-
an
this is-
achievement, like you are in
No,
Grand Theft Auto 4.
there is guns though. Yeah, the police are out to get you.
You
No,
can't. You don't have the stupid like. It's not GTA where you get the wanted level. Well,
the police will search you, and you have the ability to hide certain
I saw
items.
that. I think I saw or heard someone talking about like you can literally like move shit from one pocket to another while you're being frisked and
Yeah.
stuff to try and avoid being like busted and all that sort of
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah. There is that. I think if you die or get arrested, you just have your stuff confiscated. If you die, you just restart your last load. The saves are very frequent. So
There's a
like,
few mini games. Is that right? To like
I
in
think
like sort of like not quick time events, but like
I've seen there is gambling, there is fruit machines. But when you're doing things like bagging up your drugs, it's like you have to manually pick up the weed and put it in the bag, and then put the bag in the bucket. And there's like mixing and like watering.
apparently you
the
can
bucket.
start cooking meth and shit though. You can like move on to hard drugs.
You can.
Yeah.
All right.
You can
Well, look,
go
I'm just
full
conscious of
Breaking
the,
Bad on
hang
this.
on. I'm just conscious of the time because we are forging forward here. And Dave's hasn't even got past where he started with the demo, so I think we're going to hear more on schedule, right? And then we've still got the main event. Neil talking about Avowed.
I ain't talking much about that.
Are you not?
No.
All right.
Is that why I'm doing that
Any-
now?
Yeah, you might as well
Yes.
go ahead.
Well, I played Avowed.
Awesome.
Did you finish it?
No,
Oh,
got loads of
Oh.
to do.
I thought last time you spoke about it, you were like, "Ah, I'm near the end."
No, I don't remember saying that. I'm in the third area.
no, I don't
So-
think you were that. You thought you were that far forward.
No,
did you?
I wasn't that far before. But I've literally got to the third area and I've done some bits in the third area. I don't know how. I've got 40 hours of gameplay or something stupid now.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know how much is left.
You don't sound that infused about it.
I mean, I am. I like it. I really enjoy it because it's the only game I'm fucking playing, basically. But honestly, have no idea how much is left to do because the overall map is quite big, but it's like weird. It's like it's not a full open world. The big map has got X amount of territories available for you to explore. I don't know how many of those you can actually go to. I'm on the third, which is Shatterscorp or something like that. And I'm on my way. I haven't literally got to the big city, which I'm supposed to do as the part of the main quest. And I go around. I meet some characters that I've already met before and finish some quests and get some rewards. And then I'm sort of like middle of the upgrade tree on weapons. So I guess I'm about halfway through the game. Just guessing.
Oh wow, okay.
But yeah, I just really like this game. I don't know. Can't really explain why. There's a bit of chit chat with all the people.
I'm just watching a bit of video as some chit chat.
Like you get your like choice
blue
of
guy.
vocal options and like sometimes depending on there's an option where if you like I'm a vanguard, but I haven't really invested too many points into that as a character because I've decided like fuck it, I'm just gonna have magic spells and shit.
Right.
Because that's quite fun. So if you're a vanguard, you get certain dialogue options. If you've got certain amount of might or perception and stuff like that, you get all that sort of shit. RPG stuff.
Yeah, that's proper.
Quite
RPG.
a lot of the time, it's blocked out for me because I don't have enough. I'm like, oh, that's quite annoying that I don't know what that option is. But there we go. I guess I'm just going to have to pick the dumb options.
Sorry, why are the options blacked out?
Because like I don't have enough perception or might or because sometimes it's about being aggressive and I don't have enough might. That was my personification of might. To have the option available to me. So it will tell you like might 6 out of 8, and you're like, oh, I haven't got. I'm 6 out of 8, so I can't have that option. So, but then it just gives you a load of other options underneath on the dialogue. What were you going to say, Dave?
So you don't. It's not like Mass Effect where you get like a percentage chance of like being successful.
No, you can't just roll the dice.
It's
on
either
an option. You have the stats or you don't have the stats.
Right, okay.
But I guess like I don't know if there's other like in each there's fucking, I don't know. There's a lot of dialogue potentially in this game.
Right.
And I don't know if I see every potential thing or whether it's just like that might be the highest that I have available in that dialogue tree, but I still don't have enough. But
Right.
maybe if I'd had more perception, that might be an option. I don't fucking know. It's an Obsidian game. They do a sort of clever shit with their RPGs. They've got a bit of a history. Don't know if you know. Pillars of Eternity. That's theirs, isn't it? This is where this is the overarching sort of universe that this game is based in. Is a Pillars of Eternity.
Okay.
But like Pillars of Eternity is like a sort of isometric 2D. There's two of them at least.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just really confused. My arm just disappeared. So this is based in that universe, but this is a first person I'm playing as. You can switch it to third person in accessibility options in the settings if you wish to, so you can see your armor. But it plays pretty nice. I really, really I'm absorbed into the combat and the story. I'm like, sometimes I read the stuff. I read the dialogue generally, but there's like, you pick up loads of books and shit like that. I'm like, scroll down and I sort of skim read some of the books, but it all goes into your lore inventory if you really want to go. There's fucking loads to this game. So it's proper detailed. But the main thing is the first person combat I'm really enjoying. I don't know if what I've got to. I'm like basically just running around. I've got like a wand and a spell book is my main. That's my main. So I'm just like flinging like electrified bolts at people with my magic wand. And occasionally I open my spell book and like freeze them with ice or like set a ring of fire around me so that anyone comes and if anyone hits me, they get set on fire and stuff like that. There's a lot of sort of interactivity with the world. So like if a load of enemies are standing in a pool of water, you can like throw an electrified bolt at the water and then it'll be like fucking electrified, like getting shocked and stuff like that, and take loads of hits.
Like that.
Yeah, it's very, what's that, immersive? I don't know what's the word, but what's they call that? Emergent gameplay. That's the thing, isn't it? Right. So you can do all of that clever shit, or you could just fucking beat people up with a fucking. Well, you could beat people up with your fists if you want. There's like one of the perks is like something as that to do with just beating the shit out of people with your bare hands. So you can just do that. Or you can like, I carry my secondary loadout is like a sword and a shield, which comes in handy. Mm-hmm. But depending on the enemies that you're up against. But I'm just really liking it.
Well, that's your
not bored of it after 40 hours. Says something.
No, that's good. All right.
I just keep on playing through it.
Are you mates with the blue guy?
The blue guy's my guy. I have left him at camp a few times. But the further you get more and more partners, I guess, to walk around. You can have 2 with you at any time, so you can walk around as a 3. And they bring their own abilities. And you get to choose what their upgrades are. When you first meet a person, depending on how far you're in the game, you get like 4 upgrade points to spend on their abilities. So they come with a basic set, and then they've got like 4 usually skills that you can spend 4 points on to start with. So you can really like max it on. Well, I think you can only ever put 2 in one sort of skill. Right. So you could like boost 1, or you could spread it all across all 3, sort of 4 or whatever.
But if you want a tank, like you put it on into fighter. Or...
Yeah, there's fucking. There's just so much stuff. There's so much variability in like what you can do.
Do you kit their gear out as well? Do you give them
No,
upgraded weapons?
they
and-
come with base. You don't do any. You don't have to spec their armor out. So like, it's a Kai, the blue guy. He's got like a gun,
Mm.
largely. He shoots people with his gun. And then there's like,
Makes you upset.
Uh,
Not shoot himself.
what's the other guy? Marquis or Macquis or whatever the fuck his name is. A little dwarf guy. He's got
Right.
like a bow and arrow. Is his main weapon. And then there's like Giata. She was like a sort of. They call them animancers, and she's like sort of magic-y. She keeps like
Right.
healing and bringing shields up and things like that.
Okay, like a
And you can
support.
command them to do it, but if they've used it on their own, then they obviously there's a cooldown on things like that. And then the latest guy was the lassie, Yatsley. She's like a furry, a hot furry.
Right. Okay.
So
So she's always with you then.
she's my main girl from now on, obviously.
Brilliant.
She's got a bit of a sexy
No.
voice.
Oh my god.
So
Right. Thank you for listening to Seal Podcast.
Perfect.
She's
And on
got
that
pink-
bombshell.
She's got pink hair, and you don't see all of her hair, but she's a bit feisty. She's quite funny.
Don't see all of her fur.
No, you don't see all of it. She's fully clothed. There's no sex or romance in this game, I might add.
You've tried.
I haven't tried, but she's quite funny. She is quite funny. You can have a little. There's definitely flirty options come up in the dialogue, but she's like having none of it.
Because you've gone through all of them.
Wait until the mods come out. Yeah.
I'm sure there are mods, but I'm not interested in all that. It's just
Right.
there's a couple of things that have made me chuckle in the dialogue. So I'm like, oh, that's quite funny. So I click it. And other times it's like it's very straight and whatever. But yeah, it's fucking great. Avowed.
All right, we expect more of that then too.
Hopefully, maybe I
Fantastic.
might have finished it by next week. I don't know.
That was good. That was a good strong finish. I like that. Neil's a furry. We didn't even, didn't see that one coming. All right. I have nothing to add. I should have done, but I don't.
You put something in there, didn't you? You haven't talked about it.
Well, look, I can just run through. I downloaded a load of games. There was that Reveal the Deep. I wanted to play that. It was a tiny little game, but it looked interesting. And then I went to go run it, and it told me I needed a Java runtime. I downloaded the Java runtime, and it still didn't work. And then the more I dug into it, we were like, well, you need to do this, and then you need to do that. And
I don't need to do any of
whatever.
this. I need to not play
And I was
this.
like, that is not going to happen. I am not starting fucking around with Java runtimes and shit. Like, that's not, I'm not doing that. I downloaded Sega Bass Fishing. I played that for about 5 minutes, one round in arcade mode. It actually,
Have you got the special controller?
no, I wish I did. That would be cool. I mean, this is the one that was on the Dreamcast, right? Where you had the special
Yeah.
fishing rod controller. I wish I'd played that back in the day. I would have loved it. I've no doubt. It's okay. It's all right.
How
It
does
plays
work?
all right.
Do you have
It
to
plays.
rotate the right stick or something to make it?
No, you use the trigger to reel in, and then you're using your sticks to direct your fishing.
I feel
pole or
like there's
whatever
been
it
better
is.
fishing games.
Maybe, but anyway, it plays like a traditional Sega arcade game. It has that sort of feel. It has that sort of the sounds and the big timer and everything, and what do they have? It's just things that flash up, as soon as your fish bites, something flashes up, and
And I
it
played
makes a
this on the
sound or whatever.
PlayStation,
Like, yeah,
honestly, I
probably.
reckon-
I mean, it's been around for years. I think it's actually been delisted from Steam, but I happen to
Right.
own it for some reason. So anyway, that was pretty neat, and that was through Apple TV, which worked okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, through Steam Link. And
So you're still using Steam Link? You haven't done the Moonlight Sunshine thing?
No, Steam Link seems to be working just fine. And then I did start Noita on the Steam Link, and that will stay because I didn't get a chance to play it too much last night because my dinner was ready. But it looks as though it plays just fine with the controller, plays just fine through the Steam Link, and I know there is tons to do in that game.
That game's supposed to be very good.
Yeah, I mean, it comes highly recommended from my son, and it's one of those ones where you just have to take your time going through. I don't know I have no idea what to expect. I was just going through, just firing at stuff. Like there was one barrel. So basically, it's like a Terraria sort of thing. You go into the mines, into the
Yep.
like side on. You go in. Your guy can float. You have sort of. It's almost like he has booster shoes on him. You can get 5 seconds of boost. That's how you go vertically up. And then you have a wand which you point in the direction with the thumbstick. And there's just tons of shit going on. It's all environmental, right? It's like you were, what did you say? Emergent, right? So
Yeah. Well, every
shoot
pixel is simulated, is the thing.
yeah, you mentioned that before,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, you shoot a lantern, it drops down, it starts setting fire to everything. I hit a barrel and it started spewing out toxic liquid, which started filling up, and then it didn't stop, and it got to the point where I was like, shit, I need to get out of here, right?
Right.
There's so much toxic liquid going on. And of course you could shoot underneath that to destroy the ground and then drop all that liquid down on something. I mean, it's all tied in like that, right? It's all, like you say, every pixel simulated. So yeah, that deserves more attention, but I haven't given it a lot, so I think that'll do for now. And then
Try and play
we were
more
talking
for next
about
week.
we did talk about Dredge. You guys made me question my sanity when you were like, "You sure you finished it? You sure you finished it?" And I was like, "I don't remember finishing it." And like I was starting to doubt myself. But then I loaded it up and found that I was at the point where they basically give you the ultimatum. There is no more you can do beyond this point, right? It was that's where it got to. And I think what had happened was I said, well, I better not do that. I better go back and tidy up. And then I never went back and tidied up. So I've got to just push through and finish that. So
What are you going to do? Just go for the ending?
Probably. I don't know. It was a cool game, Dredge, and I did quite...
You were pretty hot on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Dredge is really good. Dredge is really good. But as a mooching game, it's not... I don't think it's the sort of game you could just go... I don't know if they could eliminate the bullshit at night, which isn't bullshit because it's a whole part of the whole game, right?
Right.
Shit goes down at night and you want to make sure that you're not out at night, which means that you can't just fucking sail around and
Hootle around.
be out on the
Ain't
seas for a
Dave the
couple of
Diver,
hours.
is it?
No, it's not. So, but anyway, I might
Spotted
go
the
back to that.
crossover.
I'm not sure. That's all I've got, but that'll do.
Good stuff.
All right.
Okay.
Let's call that a show then. It's been quite the show tonight. That there is no doubt. Sorry, Neil.
Not saying anything.
Let's Dave, take us out. Help
Thank
us
you.
wrap it up, Dave.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. Thank you for listening to Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask questions and get involved, please contact us on our web form, which is at sealpodcast.com. You can also contact us via email, which is sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on our Discord server. A link is pinned on various social media systems. We have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to. Neil, shout out for Twitter Ridge.
Andy. Just Andy popped in.
Thanks, Andy.
Just
And was
Andy.
vocal. He did say a question. I didn't reciprocate into the vocabulary of us. Whatever. I'm not fucking pissed. He said, aren't the Switch 2 games no longer a cartridge with a game on it, just a key to let you download the game? I don't think that's true.
What? No, they still have cartridges.
They're still
Or is that
have
for Switch
cartridges.
2?
No, Switch 2. I don't think that's right.
I heard that
There are
you
some
download
like that.
something. Yeah,
But there are
you
others
download
that
a
are actually
majority
there.
onto your Switch, and the cartridge. It's not. Is it a key? I don't know. Has some on it, but it's also
Some of the
downloads
games, well, they've got this new thing, micro SD Express.
Right.
You need special SD cards for the Switch 2, but they're still not. They're not
Of course you do.
fucking PlayStation Vita cards, which were insane. But I
To be
think
honest, I haven't read everything about it. There's a lot of stuff still out on it.
I think it
I'll
has
probably read it,
256 gigabytes of storage on the console, and you can add 256 gigabytes of micro SD Express. But I saw some stuff, people listing game sizes, and the Mario Kart World, which is the big thing that's coming at launch, is about 6 gig or something like that.
Right.
So
Amazing.
you've got plenty of room.
Good stuff. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I'm going to need some time to process this episode, I think.
Really? It's not that bad.
Mm. Well, I just found out that you're a furry, so I don't know. That one's.
I'm not a fairy. I'm furry friendly.
Until next week.
Very adjacent.
Until next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
See you
Thanks, guys.
later.
Bye.